Hey everyone, Sulli here with the Drum Corner, presented to you by Rock and Roll Industries Magazine. This is lesson number 3. I titled this lesson, The Power of the Ghost. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in honor of ghost notes. We're introducing ghost notes into our playing now. Ghost notes are exactly what the title states. They're small notes that may be heard, may not be heard when you're playing, but they're always felt. The ghost note is something that I think every drummer should have in their arsenal, bag of tricks, whatever you want to call it. It comes in very useful. I personally use them on slower tempo songs. Helps me stay focused and stay, on tempo. But at the faster paced stuff as well, it almost has a kind of a runaway train concussive effect. So we're about to jump behind the kit and do some exploring on what ghost notes are, how to play them, applying to some grooves, and so yeah, let's get going. Ghost note is comprised of, you have upstroke and a tap stroke. The upstroke being a full-on hit on the snare. The tap stroke is exactly what it says, which is more of a tap. Again, the use of dynamics here. We have a harder hit surrounded by some lighter hits. In a standard 4/4 bar music, you say you have your snare on 2 and 4, the kick on 1 and 3, you've got your eighth notes happening on the hi-hats. You're going to have, mind you, the snare again is on 2 and 4. Introduce the ghost note on the E of 1 and 2 and the AND of 3 and 4 for everyone that writes this kind of stuff out. For what we're doing today, it is all about quantity. It's about adding more stuff in, filling up that space, and that's what we're doing with the ghost notes. So again, adding them on the E of 1 and 2 and the AND of 3 and 4. Kick drum can just be a basic pattern of 1 and 3 or 1 and 3 and so on and so forth. In a few examples I'm about to play for you, I'm going to change the kick drum pattern around. Instead of coming down on the 2 and 4 with the snare, I may just have the ghost note going and no upstroke per se. And a quick refresher again, the upstroke is the dominant downbeat, the louder hit, the tap stroke is the lighter hit. So our first example will be at 120 beats per minute. Hey gang, all right, here we go. We're about to do 120 beats a minute with this ghost note pattern. I'm dancing around with the kick drum a little bit, keeping a pretty solid just eighth notes on the hi-hat. You may also notice that there are times where I just keep the ghost note happening. I don't necessarily come down with the upstroke per se, the harder hit, or that standard 2 and 4 snare. I like to play around with it a little bit, keeps it interesting, and plus it just broadens your horizons per se. So here we go at 120 beats a minute. All right, that was 120 beats a minute. Now we're going to jump it up a little bit, do 130 beats a minute. Basically the same pattern, just a little bit faster. Here we go. All right, gang, and here is 140 beats a minute. So here we go. All right, guys, and for one final demonstration here, we jumped it up to 150 beats a minute. So pray for me. Hopefully I get it right. If I don't hold it against me. Here we go. All right, guys, thanks for checking out the Power of the Ghost lesson. We had some examples here, did a little bit of talking about it. Just remember, this is something that if you haven't dealt with before, it's going to take patience, a lot of time, and just a lot of practice. You're dealing with dynamics. You're dealing with, again, your tap strokes, your upstrokes, the tap strokes being the lighter hits, the upstrokes being the heavier hits. So just stay patient with it. Pick some basic patterns that you're already used to playing on the kit, and just gradually start adding those in, and you'll see it's just a lot of fun, and just start turning some heads. So I appreciate it. You guys have a good one. Take care. Hey everyone, welcome to Practice Pattern 5 with the Drum Corner, Lesson 3, presented to you by Rock and Roll Industries Magazine. Today's rudiment is the accented triplet. This is a rudiment that's very important to any drummer having their arsenal, whether it be warm-up drills or what have you. It is exactly what it states. It's a triplet. Again, our triplets are 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, so on and so forth. The initial downbeat, the 1, the 2, a harder hit with the triplet afterwards being a little bit lighter hit. So 1, 2, 3, 2. Just like that. The idea behind this is to work individually. Obviously you can do the tog approach, which is having both hands together at the same time. Although I recommend doing separate. You do your right hand, just say pick a number, do 10 per hand, and then do 5 per hand, and then maybe jump back up to 20 per hand, that kind of thing. You'll notice with this particular rudiment that what it's going to do is build your confidence in your single stroke roll. It is going to build strength in your weaker hand, and just give you just more flexibility, more ability behind the kit. So again, the accented triplet, just be sure to work at it every day. With any rudiments that I show you here, 5-10 minutes a day, an hour a day, whatever it is, you've got to just stick with it and work with these, because they will ultimately make what you do behind the kit just that much more effective. So again, the accented triplet. So with my weaker hand, I'll do more with it. Sometimes I count, sometimes I don't count. I'll just go. And from a day to day, some days are a little bit better than others. And if I notice that particular day my left hand's not, working with me per se, I'll just hone in a little bit more on it. So, and also with that bounce, just like with the double stroke roll and so many other rudiments, that bounce is controlled so much by the initial hit, but also your fingers here, keeping that sucker in tow. So, accented triplet, just stay on top of it, and thanks for checking in.